brothers and sisters, welcome to SRD Lifestyle channel. Kindly subscribe to this channel and click on the notification icon because we're going to bring in a lot of fabulous facts and interesting ideas in this channel. Kindly support us. Thank you. We are going to talk about one of the most interesting and fascinating films and one of the most expected blockbusters of Tamil cinema. Okay, that is Jagame Thandhiram, starring Mr. Dhanush, Aishwarya, Lekshmi, James Cosmo and Joju George. Very interesting star cast, right? That's what I expected as well. Let me put this movie into very simple incident. I would say that you're very hungry and you are super hungry, you want to eat a biryani. You're sitting on a table, the guy comes and serves you. You open the biryani and you let your hands into the hot rice. There are no meat pieces. You call the guy, hey, innada adu biryani piece illa. Na biryani illa na takkali sadam dhaan irunduchu. Won't you go really mad? Seriously, won't you go really mad? That's how mad I went after watching this movie. Seriously, man, it was one of the most expected movies, especially after Dhanush has given two recent blockbuster, Karnan and Asuran. So the expectations were sky high, and first time he's joining hands with one of the brilliant directors, Karthik Subbaraj. And what do you expect out of this movie? Something out of the ordinary, right? My review about this movie is it's brilliantly disappointing. When you take up a very serious issue like the Sri Lankan Tamil war issues, you got to do a lot of research and you got to be, your screenplay has to be on the dot, but these people have taken that story and made a mockery out of it. That's what I would say. Until half of the movie travels in a totally different genre, different zone, and suddenly they pick up a very sensitive issues like the Tamil Sri Lankan Tamils issue, and they try to bring a solution to it also. They try to say that one man called Surli comes across, he changes the whole laws in Britain, and that's seriously, like, what are you guys trying to say, right? What are you guys really trying to say? Positives about this movie first. Seriously, I'm thinking of at least one positives about this movie. I'm not getting it, seriously. One thing I would say, the art direction is pretty good because the war-torn region shown quite in a decent way. Apart from this, there are a lot of character artists in this movie. The British actors, there are so many British actors, so many Tamil actors. Yeah, that's the only positive I can think about this movie. Negatives, there's a long queue. First, talking about a Tamil leader who is living in the UK and he's helping a lot of people out over there. So the character artist should be a Tamil guy. He's not a Tamil guy, he's a very famous actor, Joju George. He's from Kerala. It's a Malayalam actor. The Tamil he speaks has a lot of Malayalam flavors to it. That's a big no-no, man. Come on. Tamil leader living in the UK should have been a Tamil actor firstly, like, you know, not a Malayalam actor who speaks Tamil in the form of Malayalam. So a lot of the slang issues come in. At least they should have had someone dub for him. They haven't done that. So that's a big that takes you out of the movie. Disappointment is whenever they try to hire in a lot of foreign actors, basically the white actors, that takes you out of the movie watching experience because they don't gel along with the kind of story that we have, and that's been always the fact. A lot of Tamil films have flopped because of this, because when the foreign actors come in and try to, like, you know, act in art, maybe they are good actors. Take for example James Cosmo, he's a brilliant actor, but you take him in and you try to, like, you know, add flavor to your movie, it doesn't really work really, because you can see that kind of difference that you're taken out of the movie watching experience. You on screen, you're watching a movie and you think that there's an actor who's coming and playing a role. You don't just get involved in the movie. That's a big disappointment basically. This movie is a strict no-no for kids because it's a lot of violence, a lot of abusive languages. So they try to show that at the end of the movie, they try to show that a local gangster from Tamil Nadu has gone to Britain and he has brought a solution for all the immigrants out over there. Seriously? Seriously? Okay. There is a really hot issue. They talk a lot about racism. They talk a lot about the immigrant issues. That will still exist. nobody, that's a very what do you call it, they're very sensitive issues those are. You can't say that, you can't conclude a movie saying that you got a solution to it. The one guy from here has gone all the way to London and he's got a solution to that. That is really, really absurd. There's this British guy who comes to Tamil Nadu who wants to eat parota. So he comes there, he comes with the Tamil guy, he sits there and he sees Surali fighting with some local gangsters. Then he says, he's a man. He's a man. Let's take him to London. And that's it. They take him to London, he goes and starts fighting against those gangsters in London. Seriously, man, seriously. When you're writing a screenplay, seriously, don't you think these kind of points are really, really not funny, I would say, these silly, I would call it. Don't you think Sri Lankan war tone issues, the Sri Lankan Tamil war tone issues, so very sensitive issues, and you can't make a mockery out of it? Then they have made a mockery out of it, because the first half of the movie, the first 50% of the movie, is on a totally different genre, totally different. They talk about gangsters, fights, guns, and all those, and suddenly after the 50% of the movie, they start talking about the Sri Lankan issues, the Tamils, the immigrants, the racism, and everything. Seriously. I don't think so. It's not making you connect, because when you set up a movie base, basically, firstly you need to give your audience what they're going to expect. If you're going to talk about a very serious issue, the movie should take on a serious note. This movie is neither serious nor comic. It stands somewhere in between, so we are left really, really confused. One scene of the movie, what they try to say is, in a software firm during an appraisal meeting, they get to talk about a gangster. Seriously, this is very, very silly, because they try to show that all the immigrants, including the software people in UK, are feeling a lot of racism comments. They're feeling a lot of abuse over there, which is not at all true. Because I've been working across the world. I've been in UK, US, Australia. They really don't abuse you. Basically, they really don't abuse you. That's a very, very wrong way of portrayal in the movie, because people really don't abuse you so badly. And what they're trying to show there is really, really stupid, I would say. It is not. Actually, the action sequences they've shot is tad really funny, because during half part of the movie, the lead actor, Mr. Dhanush, the Surali, he gets shot on his chest. He gets shot right over here. There are 4 to 5 shots on his body. We thought he's dead, but the next scene he's seen sitting up and talking to the heroine. Seriously, super stupid. Heroine Aishwarya, right from scene 1 she enters, we know she's going to do this. They have it as a twist. It's a twist for them, not for us, basically. So there's nothing really interesting about her. Yeah, Joju George is a brilliant actor. He's a brilliant Malayalam actor. They have really, really wasted him. Same with James Cosmo as well. He's been brilliantly wasted. The scenes he comes in, he gives in the same kind of expression. You don't feel kind of scary about anything in the film, because it is neither a light-hearted film nor a hard-hitting film. In a gangster movie, usually you need to get involved in the movie, but each and every characters are introduced, and you need to travel with the movie. They never let you get involved with the movie. They keep breaking, every time you get an expectation, they keep really breaking your hope. And there's one more very disturbing point about this movie is a lot of dialogues are in English, and they don't have Tamil subtitles. So a lot of people who don't know, because they talk even in British English in the movie, and a lot of people may not follow, and there's no Tamil subtitles. They try to have an actor who try to translate, but a lot of dialogues are left without proper Tamil subtitles. How is this movie? A strict miss, I would say. There's nothing great about this movie, so there's nothing really interesting about this movie. They've spent a lot, they've really so many side artists, one of the big budgeted movies for Dhanush, I would say, because Dhanush movies are not so expensive. This movie, they've spent a lot, and it looks really rich, the movie, because they've set it up. There are so many side characters, so many character artists, and there's so much of guns, so much of fights involved. So, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really prove the point. Finally, all we would say is in Tamil, we would say it, Ayya Sami podumda uttungadangala dey.